Have you ever looked at your bank account and thought, I really need to stop spending? And then, somehow, a few days later, you're ordering food, buying something you don't really need, or telling yourself, it's only $20. The strange part is that you already knew you couldn't afford it. So why did you do it? And more importantly, why does this pattern seem to happen more often when someone has less money? The obvious answer is, poor people are bad with money. But that explanation is too simple. Because overspending isn't always about a lack of discipline. Sometimes it's about living in a financial environment where every decision feels urgent. Let's say you earn $2,000 a month. Your rent takes $900. Bills take another $400. Food costs $300. Transportation takes $150. Before you even think about saving, you've already spent $1,750. That leaves you with $250. Now imagine your phone breaks, your car needs a repair, you get sick, or your electricity bill is higher than expected. Suddenly, that $250 disappears, and next month starts with you already behind. This is where something interesting happens. When people constantly feel financially trapped, they often start focusing on the present instead of the future. Not because they don't care about the future, because the future feels too far away. If you're worried about making it through Friday, putting $100 into an investment account for 10 years from now doesn't feel emotionally satisfying. A $20 meal does, a new pair of shoes does. A small purchase gives you something immediate. And when life feels stressful, immediate rewards become much more powerful. Psychologists sometimes call this present bias. We naturally place more value on rewards we can experience right now than rewards we have to wait for. And money makes this even stronger when resources are limited. Think about it. Someone with $50,000 in savings can spend $100 and barely notice. Someone with $500 in the bank can spend that same $100 and feel completely different afterward. But here's the trap. The person with less money may actually spend more time thinking about money, and constant financial stress can make long-term planning harder. You're not thinking about retirement, you're thinking about rent. You're not thinking about compound interest, you're thinking about whether your paycheck will last until Thursday. And then there's another psychological effect. Small luxuries can become a form of emotional compensation. Imagine working a job you hate all week. You're exhausted. You've been stressed about money. Then Friday arrives. You think, I deserve something nice. So you spend $30 on dinner. Then another $15 on drinks. Maybe another $40 on something you saw online. None of those purchases feels catastrophic individually. But together they become $85. And the dangerous part is that the purchase doesn't feel like spending. It feels like relief. That distinction matters. Because when spending becomes a way to regulate emotions, budgeting alone may not solve the problem. You can create the perfect spreadsheet. You can categorize every expense. But if every stressful day ends with a purchase, the spreadsheet won't change the underlying behavior. There's also a social side to this. People don't just compare their bank accounts. They compare their lifestyles. You see someone with a new phone. Someone takes an expensive vacation. Someone drives a better car. Someone posts a restaurant on Instagram. And suddenly, your own life feels smaller. So, you spend money not because you genuinely want the product, but because you don't want to feel behind. This creates one of the most expensive psychological traps in modern life, trying to look financially successful before actually becoming financially secure. And credit cards make this incredibly easy. You can experience the lifestyle today and worry about paying for it later. The problem is that later eventually arrives. And when it does, the purchase you made last month becomes the bill you're struggling with this month. Then something even worse can happen. You use debt to cover the previous debt. Now your future income is already partially spent before you receive it. That's how overspending can become a cycle. Earn money, spend it, run short, borrow, get paid, repay the debt, run short again, borrow again, and eventually it starts feeling like there's simply never enough money. But breaking this cycle doesn't necessarily begin with earning more. It begins with creating distance between emotion and spending. The next time you feel the urge to buy something, pause. Ask yourself one simple question. Am I buying this because I need it, because I genuinely value it, or because I want to feel different for the next 30 minutes? That question can be surprisingly powerful. And there's another rule that can help. Don't try to become financially disciplined overnight. Start by making your future slightly more important than your present. Automatically save a small amount when you get paid. Wait 24 hours before buying something unnecessary. Delete shopping apps that constantly tempt you. And most importantly, stop treating every financial mistake as proof that you're bad with money, because shame rarely creates better financial decisions. Understanding does. The goal isn't to never spend money. The goal is to stop using money to solve problems that money can only temporarily hide. Because being broke isn't always caused by spending too much. Sometimes overspending is one of the symptoms of being financially trapped. And once you understand the psychology behind it, you can finally start breaking the cycle.